Guys, this is one of the biggest Apple events ever, and believe me, I got a lot to show you. We've got iPhones with new buttons, AirPods with an upgraded case, Apple Watches, a smarter Siri, and iOS 18 that you can actually get right now. So here are all the top new features you gotta know. Let's go. Alright, so here's your first look at the brand new iPhone 16 Pro Max. And although it looks like nothing has changed, there's actually quite a lot that has. But by far, the biggest addition is the new camera control. It's a brand new button where you can essentially control the entire camera app from. So you click it to open up the camera app, but then you can lightly tap it to bring up a menu. You can swipe across it to toggle through different modes. Or if you're in Zoom, you can even use it to zoom in and out. I got to try it out myself, and honestly, it was very intuitive and actually quite easy to get the hang of. It's actually kind of nuts just how much you can do with this one little button. And believe me, in typical Apple style, this is going to be the new standard on all smartphones. Like every other brand is probably going to copy this. You'll see. Another crazy camera feature is the ability to now shoot in 4K at 120 frames a second, but then still be able to edit the frame rate after you've shot the video. You can now also pause video recordings, then pick back up where you left off if you want, and you have way more audio control with this new kind of audio mixing feature. I mean, this really is one heck of a pro phone. It also has a brand new 48 megapixel ultra-wide camera with autofocus, which is a big upgrade from the old 12 megapixel ultra-wide. Its screen is now also officially the biggest iPhone screen ever, and it comes in 4 different colors. So the new Desert Titanium, black, white, and natural. Plus, it also gets Apple Intelligence and the new Siri, but before I show you that, I've got to show you something that got a massive upgrade, and that's the base iPhone 16. Now, this is the iPhone 16, and believe it or not, this is probably the biggest update the normal iPhone has ever gotten. So it also comes with the camera control, and all the cool features you can do on the 16 Pro Max, you can do on the base model. The light tapping, the swiping, zooming in, main menu, all of that. It also has the action button now that you can customize to do just about anything. And it'll also have the same Apple Intelligence features, the new Siri, so it really doesn't miss out on much. It has a brand new 48 megapixel ultra-wide camera, which you can of course use to get nice wide shots, but also some really good looking macro shots. And it comes in 5 sweet colors. You get ultramarine, teal, and pink, and then your standard black and white. And I gotta say, the teal one is definitely my favorite color. So the base model also gets the camera control, it gets the action button, it gets iOS 18, all of the Apple Intelligence features, the new Siri, a new 48 megapixel ultra-wide camera. I mean, that's a lot of great features, and I'm only just scratching the surface. So make sure you subscribe to see my future tips and tricks videos on it. But now, let's take a look at AirPods. Okay, on to AirPods, and this one is kind of confusing, I'm not gonna lie. So there are now 4 versions of AirPods you can choose from. You get the AirPods 4, the AirPods 4 with ANC, the AirPods Pro, and AirPods Max. I know, it's weird. So the AirPods 4 are basically the entry-level AirPods. They've got a slight redesign with a smaller case, so it's super compact and has 30 hours of battery life. And you can also use head gestures, so you nod to answer a call or shake side to side to decline a call. Then AirPods 4 with ANC looks exactly like the base version, except you get active noise cancellation, transparency mode, conversational awareness, adaptive audio, wireless charging, and a speaker on the case in case you lose them. And a little tip, the only way to tell the difference between the two is AirPods 4 with ANC has this little hole on the bottom of the case, so just FYI. Then AirPods Pro, what's new about this is an update. So no new design, no new speakers, no new mics, just a software update with new features. So if you do already have the AirPods Pro, then lucky you, you'll get all these new features. But the thing that got the biggest reaction from the audience during the keynote was the AirPods Pro now have a clinically approved hearing aid feature. Wow. So now people will essentially be able to use AirPods Pro like hearing aids. I mean, that's just absolutely nuts. There's a couple other great features too, but again, I'll get into more of those details in a future video. But now, I'm not gonna lie, I was super disappointed in the AirPods Max update. So it got 5 new colors: Starlight, Orange, Purple, Blue, and Midnight. And it now also has a USB-C port. Great. But that's basically it. So after 4 years, that's the update. So while I'm glad we now have new colors and USB-C, I was really hoping we were going to get a new kind of case or a new way of turning them off and on, maybe a lighter design, but not this time, which kind of sucks. But now let me show you something that doesn't suck. Okay, onto the watches. So Apple only released one new watch, the Series 10. And there are some really cool features which I'll go through shortly, but it now has the biggest display on any Apple Watch. So its screen is actually bigger than the Apple Watch Ultra. It's now also the thinnest Apple Watch and the fastest charging Apple Watch ever. Like, that's really cool. But possibly my favorite new thing about the Watch 10 is the speakers. And that's because you can now finally play music out loud through the watch speakers. So if you forgot your AirPods at home, you can listen to music straight from your wrist or podcasts, and I freaking love that. It also has a new Vitals app with all your vital info, the Depth app that was originally only on the Ultra, and a new Tides app to keep eye on ocean tides, and a brand new health feature that can detect sleep apnea. So the Apple Watch 10 can actually measure or detect if you stop breathing while you're sleeping, which is absolutely wild to me, and if that works well, that's pretty amazing. And as for the Apple Watch Ultra, it's basically still the Ultra 2, but it essentially got all the same features. So playing music out loud from the speaker, the Tides app, sleep apnea detection, and a beautiful new black titanium color, which I think a lot of people are gonna love and I think looks really good. So those are all the new products, but now we've got to talk about the new Siri. Okay, so it's no secret that Siri really needed a massive update, and it finally got one. It'll be on all the new iPhone 16 models and also the 15 Pro models, and you can now talk to her like a real person. So it'll understand if you fumble your words or if you maybe say something by mistake and then correct yourself. You can now also text with Siri just by double pressing this navigation line at the bottom. Then something else that I know a lot of people are going to love is you can ask her to explain something to you if you don't know how to do it on your phone. So for example, if you can't remember how to delete duplicated photos, you can ask Siri and it'll run you through step by step on exactly how to do that. But what has got to be Siri's best new feature is it is now aware of everything on your phone. Like, you can ask her to move photos from one folder to another, you can ask her to update a friend's contact card or edit pictures, you can even ask it to generate images for you. And that leads me to Apple Intelligence. Now, Apple Intelligence. There's a lot to unravel here, but the best way I heard it being described is anytime you see the kind of crazy, colorful graphic on the iPhone, that is Apple Intelligence at work. So, for example, writing styles where you can summarize notes, or cleanup where you can remove just about anything from your image. Whenever you see this colorful gradient of colors, that is Apple Intelligence. But something I was totally not expecting is visual intelligence. And this is essentially Apple's version of Google Lens. And basically how it works is you hold down the camera control for a couple of seconds, the camera then opens up, and whatever it's pointed at, Siri will actually identify it for you. But from there, you can then take it a step further and open that image in Google Search, literally like Google Lens or Circle to Search, or you can open it in ChatGPT and ask it pretty much whatever you want. Genmoji is another Apple Intelligence feature where you can create pretty much any emoji imaginable. Like, being able to make an emoji of pretty much anything you want is actually really cool. Then there's Image Playground, which you can use to create pictures even of people in your contacts or photos. But Apple have not officially announced when these two features will be coming out. So it could be next week, it could be next year, I don't know. But what does work right now is, as I mentioned, writing styles, photo cleanup, searching is a lot better, memory videos created from your photos, notification summaries, and so much more. I mean, like I said, there is a lot you can do when it comes to Apple Intelligence, but just remember, every time you see that colorful graphic, there's probably something pretty cool you can do there. So if you want to see exactly what all these new products can do, then make sure you subscribe for my tips and tricks videos, but I'll see you guys in the next one. Toodles!